watching The Founder with me, Tashiya Segel. From the office Colombo, I have yet another guest with me, Nisha from Aiyaana Jewelry. How are you doing today, Nisha?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my brand is called Aiyaana, and it's a jewelry brand where we hand make silver jewelry with the airy and variety of stones and colors and precious and semi-precious stones available in Sri Lanka.
And you're obviously wearing a piece of yours.
I am,
yes, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So tell me when you guys started.
So I have absolutely no background in design or gemology, and what started off a little bit of an artistic side that I kind of pushed. I decided to start make some couple of pieces for myself.
Okay.
And those got appreciated by family and friends who started placing small orders here and there just for fun. And I kind of toyed with the idea for a while as to whether I could make this a business or not. And I decided to take the plunge. And I think it kind of paid off because we just turned 10 this year.
Oh, congratulations.
And thank you. So I think, yeah, it was a gamble worth taking.
Oh, that's amazing. You just randomly decided to make your own earrings.
I have absolutely no background in it. So
do you remember what the first piece you made?
A very tiny piece. And when I look back to it now, I think we've come a long way.
Yes.
I mean, design and techniques and stuff. So I think, yeah, it's
wow,
been
that's
a journey.
Amazing. So no background on anything whatsoever.
Nothing.
You just had
a liking.
Go,
I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been fun.
Okay. 10 years is a long time. So, how did it initially start? Like after your friends and your family appreciated it, you decided to make some more for them, or like how did it go?
Yeah, it was just word of mouth. Some orders came in and they just started seeing me wearing the stuff, or they would wear it and get compliments and stuff, and that's how I just kind of started.
Okay, and then you went on to create your brand. How did the name Aiyaana Jewelry come about?
So I happened to be pregnant with my second son at the time, and Googling names, I guess, for the baby. And I came across this name, and we didn't know the sex of the baby, and we just decided, I just love this name, and I just decided to keep it regardless. And that's when, after the baby was born, when I didn't name the child this name, I kind of decided to name it my company. Yeah.
Okay, so Aiyaana is your kid's name.
No, he's a boy actually.
Okay.
So since I didn't name him Aiyaana,
yes,
I decided to name the company Aiyaana.
Oh, okay.
I just really liked.
Yeah, I mean, you could call your company your baby too, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly, yes.
So tell me, Nisha, what really inspires you?
I think the variety of stones and colors available here. I think whenever anybody wears my piece, especially overseas, the appreciation, the way they love the gemstone and the value they place towards it and everything. I think it just makes me proud of Sri Lanka and what it has to offer.
Yes.
So I think, yeah, just that kind of makes me happy to produce more pieces that people appreciate and accept.
All right. So where did you put out your first pieces, like to the public?
It was more private exhibitions from home.
Correct. Okay.
I just feel like it's a bit more personalized when you come over and I show you the pieces and we talk about it, what you like, what you don't like. And all of my pieces are one-off pieces. So very rarely, very seldomly, unless you're okay with it, I would make a second piece of the same.
Okay.
So that way it's very personalized.
So you get
it's a very small market here. So I feel like you just want to wear something that's unique to yourself and not mass-produced. And I think that's where our strength lies.
Okay. And what are some of the challenges that you faced in the beginning with your startup?
Initially, I was very clear on the onset that I wanted to employ artisans from villages and empower them, in fact, to support their families. So their lack of English and my lack of Sinhala was just crazy. Like we ended up doing a lot of sign language and trying to understand doodles and drawings and stuff like that, what we wanted done. But when we overcame that, I think now we've managed this balance where they understand what I want and I know what they want too. So that's that. And then the mom guilt, do I work? Do I take care of the child?
Wow.
So that guilt is always there, but I think you just try and create a balance and then it works.
Okay. So have you ever gone through a time in your career where you had to make a difficult or hard decision?
So one of my biggest flaws, I think, is that I'm an absolute micromanager. And I feel like for like every entrepreneur, when you're starting off, you want to launch your brand to the global market and you want it to open up to bigger markets and stuff. So you have to visit trade shows, you have to put your brand out there, you have to travel for all this. And I felt like I was doing injustice to my children by traveling all this while or going to places and spending time away. And at the same time, I wanted to be with my kids. So I was doing an injustice to the brand. I wasn't 100% in either of the places. So I just felt like I had to hit that pause button there where I wanted to spend time with my kids at the moment because they're my priority. And once I feel like they're more settled, maybe go back to that. But it's just a pause button. It's not a not doing button.
Awesome. So, when anyone starts a new business or startup, one thing that somewhat gets in the way is finances. Was finances difficult for you, and did you approach any banks at any point?
It started off as a hobby that I was more passionate about.
Yes.
So I decided it was very unfair for me to ask for any investment for that matter. So I invested in myself. It was just a small amount. And because we've managed to keep operations to a bare minimum, I've never had to reach out to any investor or anything because I just kind of rolled the profits into the company initially. So it's worked for us. We've never had to ask for investments or loans so far. So far, so good.
Awesome. So obviously when you have a jewelry line like this, you tend to look at different ways to create new products, right? So where do you draw your inspiration for new collections?
So I don't really do collections. I kind of just make pieces as I
want
and what I like.
Yeah.
And I always make pieces that I would love to wear myself.
Yes.
I don't really follow trends either. So people are like, oh, so what's your new collection for fall or for winter? And I don't really do any of that.
Okay.
But the nice thing is I think we've managed to keep to our own a unique sort of patterns, because when people spot our pieces on other customers, they're like, oh, she was wearing Aiyaana. I can spot it from a distance.
Wow.
So
okay.
that kind of makes you proud that you've stayed true to your own identity and you haven't really tried to trend or copy anyone or,
Correct.
So it's nice when you get that appreciation from afar.
All right. Okay, cool. So Nisha, what really drives you and gets you out of bed every morning?
I think when you get those messages from your customers appreciating your product and your work and your craftsmanship, I think that. And the fact that I have two boys that, and because I work from home, I feel like they've seen me cry and smile at work. They've seen me frustrated and disappointed and at the same time ecstatic. So I think I feel like I need to show them firsthand that hard work really pays off, that you need to be insistent, you need to be persistent and follow your dreams and feel like, if this is something that you want to do, then push it and work hard for it. And I feel like that the need to motivate them and inspire them is what really inspires me at the same time.
And what would you say is your definition of success?
I think it means different things to different people. In my case, I think I wouldn't place any monetary value on it or any sort of fame or recognition on it. I think if you can go to bed just being happy and content with yourself, that you've learned from your mistakes and you've grown as a human and your brand is growing at the same time and you're happy with it, if you can pat yourself on the back, I think that would be success to me. It doesn't have to be anything on a grand scale.
Absolutely. And what would you say is the most frustrating thing about having a startup?
So in my case, at least, jewelry, it's nothing new. It's nothing I invented.
Yeah.
It's been there for generations and time in history. So I felt like the most frustrating thing is that when you're a startup, you need to make sure your brand and your product stands out for itself. I remember sending thousands of emails to multi-designer stores trying to get my brand into their stores and things. And from the 100 emails, you get 10 replies.
Yeah.
But if you can even get one sale out of that 10 reply, I think it was the persistence and the perseverance was completely worth it.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So now how many, or should I ask you how your team is? Like how many people are in your team?
So definitely 100% credit to the artisans. I mean, I wouldn't even have a brand if it weren't for them. They do all the hard work and stuff. So design is me, social media is me, photography is me, and it's just me and the
you do the
artisans.
photography as well. Yes, I saw your page. It's amazing. Very colorful.
It's
indeed.
just me and the artisans, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the pandemic. How has business been this past 2 years?
So we haven't had any sort of repercussions when it comes to the pandemic. I feel people haven't had ability to travel, so they've kind of embraced local designers and products, so that's been great. So we haven't, apart from the fact that people are not going out anywhere, so they don't really need to wear their jewelry. They still have the need to buy presents or to feel, some sort of gifting for themselves, or little
that's
treat.
True. I found myself just online shopping also.
You might not even go out to wear it, So I keep asking, are you going to wear it to the garden? Are you wearing it to the kitchen? Like, where are you going to wear this? But just that it's such a gloomy sort of perspective that we've been through, that you just need something to make you happy, I feel. And what we've tried to do is keep our prices so that it's not an extravagant purchase. So you don't have to feel like you're breaking the bank when you're purchasing one of our pieces, and it doesn't have to be a consultant with the entire family. Like, gold has just become so expensive nowadays. So we're trying to make this a more accessible product. So I think that's what's worked for us in this pandemic.
Awesome. So what would you say is your number one value in business and in life?
being honest. I mean, there have been many times that we've really messed up myself, and I think just being honest with your customer. Look, I'm sorry, I didn't get this the way you wanted it, or it's not going to turn out on time. Don't
Right.
just bluff around the whole thing and try to cover things up, because it's going to end up in a worse situation.
Right.
So I think being honest with yourself, with the client, with everyone who you work with, your whole entire team, I think that's important.
Awesome. So, is there someone you look up to, or for example, if I gave you, hypothetically speaking, if you had the chance to sit at a dinner, a fancy dinner with someone of your liking, someone that inspires you even locally or internationally, who would those people be?
I think so. There's a jewelry designer called Farah Khan.
Okay.
She's a dear friend, and I remember reaching out to her when I started Aiyaana, and she was very honest about the backlash that you'd get initially as starting a new product. And even though she was from a big Bollywood family, and I mean her market would be huge, she was always very humble. And the way she's grown and the way she looks at her products and the works of art that she turns out, I think I would love to pick her brain as to what's the next trend, or what she thinks, where she thinks the market is going and stuff.
Okay. Where do you see your brand going, maybe in the next 5 years?
Hoping global.
Global.
But yeah, I'm very happy at the way it's grown, slow and steady, and the positive feedback we get. I think
Yes,
that's
and
important.
I absolutely love the fact that you're doing this out of passion as well. A lot of people out there so creative. They have the passion too, and they're probably thinking about doing their own thing, just like you did. What kind of advice would you give them?
Believe. There has to be a reason why you decided to start this, and there's to be a reason why you believe your product is worthy enough to become a business. So you're going to get a backlash. You're going to have people giving their comments, and just take it in your stride, grow thick skin, and persevere.
Yeah, that's true. I absolutely love your story, Nisha,
Thank you.
and it's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
Please let everyone know how they can get in touch with you, check out all the pieces that you have available, and basically get to know more.
Social media would be the best way. Our Instagram handles, our Facebook and stuff. That would be the most convenient way, I guess, right?
All right, yeah, that's actually the one thing that's pretty much going strong, especially in this era, the digital space.
Yes.
So thank you so much,
Thank
Nisha,
you. Thank
and
you for
wish you all the
having
very
me.
best.
Thank you.
Hopefully, I'll drop by and
Yes,
get some
please.
pieces for myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's begin.